Thanks, Matt. We've been talking about UNRWA, and America it doesn't have anybody on the ground in Gaza. I just wondered if you had any comment about the rising cases of polio, a disease that's virtually almost eradicated from the rest of the world, rising in Gaza, and also hepatitis A. Is there any? We've seen American doctors have gone in there to volunteer. We've obviously got lots of aid organizations. Is there anything else that the United States can do to assist with reducing the risk of disease rising over the next months? It's like it's hanging a lot on waiting for this ceasefire deal, but
so obviously a ceasefire deal would go a long way towards alleviating suffering, because it would make it much easier to get humanitarian assistance in, get it moving around Gaza, make it much easier for people to move around Gaza free from the threat of harm. But we have not been waiting for a ceasefire deal to try to address the spread of infectious disease and to address the potential spread of infectious disease before we even saw these reports. Our coordinator for Middle East humanitarian issues, Lise Grand, has been incredibly focused on this. She has worked to try and get disinfectant products and cleaning products and vaccination supplies into Gaza. There has been, as you might imagine, right, a decrease in vaccinations since October 7th. You imagine how hard it is when people are not in their homes and are not going to school, how hard it is to continue with vaccination programs. So we have been working to try to get more vaccines for polio and other diseases into Gaza, as well as working on just basic sanitary supplies to try to deal with the very unsafe conditions that people are living in. So there's a lot of work that we have been doing with the UN, something that the Secretary discussed with Sigrid Kaag when they spoke 2 days ago. So no, we have not been waiting for a ceasefire. Obviously, a ceasefire helps make easier all of the problems that are plaguing Gaza right now, but we have been working on addressing the risk for potential disease for some time, even before we saw these reports.
And presumably those supplies are suffering from the same problems of not being able to move around inside Gaza.
Everything suffers from the same kind of threats to lawlessness that make it very difficult to move convoys from Kerem Shalom into to places in southern Gaza or other places, moving around northern Gaza.
And now with the pier being out of operation, are airdrops continuing at all with the U.S., or is that?
I'm not aware of any, but I would defer to the Pentagon to speak to that.